Hi there, everybody. Today I'm gonna do a flip through of what you call it of Terror of the Abyss by Ana Tourian. Um, I'm not um, I'm not familiar with her decks, so to speak, but I do know that she's created more. I also know that she actually has her own YouTube channel, so I'm going to make sure to put that link in the description below because I saw a video about counterfeit decks and a video about decks that we hate. And they were actually quite good. A little bit, food for thought and stuff like that, but good food for thought. So the story about this deck, Terror of the Abyss, is that I think it was about um, 3, maybe even 4 months ago that I saw it for the first time. And I don't know if you're familiar with actually kind of knowing that you're going to purchase a deck, but you kind of just still need to sort of think about it and then actually really feel it. So for quite a while, I saw it at a in a physical store, and I don't know how many web shop baskets I've been putting it into, and then kind of like, not yet. And then I went back to the store. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and I just knew today was the day. And some things had happened in my life that kind of, it made sense that this was the deck that I was supposed to have. And I purchased it at the very same store that I saw it for the first time, so that kind of made beautiful sense as well. Then I posted it on Instagram, where I also have an account by the same name, by the way, and I advertised that I would make a video and kind of open it and go through it. And I've been impatiently waiting to actually open this deck. As you can see, it's still in its wrapping here. So I've been waiting impatiently, but as probably all of you know, life happens, and it just hasn't been, the quiet time until now to actually sit down and do this video. So for 2 weeks it has been on my desk crying out to be used. So now's the time. What's going to happen is that in a moment I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to go through it together, and yeah, we'll see what happens. After that, I'm going to do a very short pick a card reading, and it's going to be super short. It's not going to be like elaborate with a lot of cards. It's just going to be 3 cards from this deck, the Terror of the Abyss, and I'm going to add to it a crystal and a rune, kind of sort of to help you tune into the card. Then I'm going to flip the card, and I'm just going to, take it from there. No elaborate reading or anything like that, just kind of to get the feel for the cards, and kind of to give you a chance sort of to tune into it as well and see whether or not this deck is actually for you. Before I'm going to do that, there's going to be a sort of cut in the video. Before I do that, I do something, privately, and that is whenever I get a new deck and I invite it into the deck family, so to speak. They're right over here. That's why I'm looking over there. I do this sort of reading where I allow the deck to tell me what it can do. Kind of getting the feel of, I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like when you meet someone for the first time, you introduce yourself. And what I do with this deck, maybe I think I'm going to make a video about it at some point. But it's kind of like, you know, a private reading where I connect to the deck, and that's not going to be part of this video because that's private. So, so there's going to be a cut, and when I've done that, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the pick a card reading once I kind of know what the deck is about. So, I think that was about it. So without further ado, I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to get started on this beautiful deck. See you soon. Hi there and welcome back again. So this is The Terror of the Abyss by Ana Tourian. And what I fell for about this deck is actually, you know, the artwork of the front and of the two cards on the back. And it's actually, and I'm a bit embarrassed to say this, but it's actually only after I purchased it that I realized that this card, let me see if I can pull it up for you here. This card is actually the Ten of Swords. And if you're familiar with tarot, you'll know that the Ten of Swords is usually extremely dramatic, with, you know, a man having 10 swords in his back at a shoreline. What I really find beautiful about this, and as said, I only realized that after I purchased this, is that, I don't know if you can tell, but maybe when we get to the actual card, it will be more visible. But the structure of the feathers of this owl is actually made of the 10 swords. And the owl is staring into the eyes of an old man, and the old man's beard is kind of like waves. So you still have, you know, that shoreline and those swords in the Ten of Swords, but in a much less dramatic way. So that's, yeah, that's beautiful. Without further ado, I'm gonna open the deck and just, you know, I usually have my fights with this plastic wrapping, so that's why I'm taking a knife to it, because I don't have much nail to deal with. So the deck is open. Oh, this feels good. Let me see, can it focus now maybe? Yeah, it focus a little bit better. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, that sound. I love that sound. Okay. Seems like, oh my god, look at that artwork. So this is the guidebook of this man here. So this is the guidebook. Let's take a look at that first. The US game systems, very elaborate. You know what, I actually love this, you know. Sometimes you just have a few, you know, headlines and then it just moves on. But I really like that you actually have quite some text about the individual cards. Let's see, what else do we have? I actually also think yes, this is an 80 card deck, so there's 2 alternate cards in them. It's gonna be fun. There's an introduction here and about the deck. Yes. And do we have the Abyss spread? So we do have, you know, ideas for spreads as well for any newcomers to the tarot. So that is absolutely beautiful. So that means that you have a very elaborate and easy to use and easy to read guidebook. Yes, so, and we put this aside too. So this is, oh, it's a beautiful backside. So this is the, it's always interesting to open a deck that you haven't really, because I could have done a lot of research about the deck. Let's see how I can get through here. I could have done a lot of research about it, but I kind of felt like I wanted the deck to surprise me. So let me just bend them a little bit. They're very new. So the feel of the cards in itself is it's not one of the completely thin qualities, but it is very much bendable, and sometimes you can get cards that are a little bit sturdier than this one. A smooth, I don't know if you can tell, surface to it. So it seems like we have some sort of inclusive imagery, but it is, I don't know if you can tell my hand size here, so this is how it looks like. Now let's go through it. We have the Fool. Oh wow. The Magician. High Priestess. I love that, you know, it's taken the use of not just European paganism and stuff like that, but actually incorporating other things as well. Yes. Just trying to, I can see that it's not really focusing too well. And I wonder, maybe here, there you go. This is actually interesting because usually I would expect Strength to be a very bright card. But this is actually very dark, and I kind of like that because Strength often is built, if not always, then very often is built from, you know, troubles and hardship. So it kind of makes sense with the darkness. Hermit. I don't know if you can tell, but the weights are in her eyes here. And you can sort of see, you know, the fine, it's probably not pencil strokes, but pen strokes. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful artwork. The Hanged One. Oh, this is interesting. Look at that. This is actually from the perspective of the Hanged One. Huh. Now that's funny. We have the Death card. Oh, that is a beautiful Death card. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. The zooming is not really the best, or the focusing is not really the best, but you know, these sparkles of the tree here, Yeah, that's beautiful. Temperance and the devil. See, this is a funny kind of devil because what is this? Huh. Because usually I'm getting fascinated by it, so I forget what I wanted to say. Yeah, usually in ordinary tarot decks, it's kind of like the devil card is depicting someone, chained up, but very easily being able to escape their own chains. This looks like it's not very easy. And this detail is rather interesting. I can't wait to dive into this one. Oh, so this is the tower. Now that is interesting. So we have, I don't know if you remember this, but this is from the guidebook. So it's the tower here on the cover of the guidebook. That is an interesting tower. Wow. The star. Oh, that's beautiful. It's almost like a Two of Cups situation here. And the sun. Wow. Oh, awakening. Oh, that is funny. I think this is instead of the instead of the judgment card, if I remember correctly. And it's so beautiful. It's called the awakening instead. And we have the world. A little baby. Now we have the swords. The Ace of Swords. Kind of like, in classical you have this hand coming out of the sky or something like that, depicting whatever element you're starting with. I kind of like when tarot decks investigate a little further and kind of do more about the aces. We have, I don't know if you can tell, we have on the sword, that's difficult to tell, but there's an infinity sign here and an eye on the sword too. Yeah, that's beautiful. You find little figures up here in the trees. This is a very, oh wow, a very detailed deck with a lot of interesting aspects. Three of Swords. Look, instead of the heart you have a crow, or at least some kind of bird. Yes. Oh, we have two Three of Swords. Interesting. I'm going to take a guess that there's going to be some explanation in the guidebook. Obviously, I can't promise because I haven't read it, but I would assume so. Just, a little practical information. There's a lot of wind going on outside today, so if there's any noises of doors, hammering or stuff like that, that's just the wind. I live just under the roof on the third floor, so everything in here is very sensitive to strong winds. So if any other noises apart from my voice and meddling with the deck is, you know, that's just it. So we have the Five of Swords, and the Six of Swords. My God, this is beautiful. Seven of Swords. The Nine of Swords. And we have the Ten of, see, look at that. The Ten of Swords here. This is the version that, you know, you would expect from the Ten of Swords. And then we have this Ten of Swords. That's the picture I talked about. Look at that. This is beautiful. I may be a little bit biased because I love owls very, very much. But yeah, this is beautiful. It seems to be, I don't know if it's, you know, because of the court cards, but, you know, Page, Knight, 10. There seems to be quite some darkness. Now we have the wands. Look at that phoenix up here. Beautiful. I think this is celebration at its best. The Five of Wands. So I'm going to say about this deck so far, it really resembles very well what we know from either you call it the Rider-Waite-Smith or you call it the Smith-Waite. It kind of, you know, has that iconic symbolism to it, but it seems like Ana Tourian also, will all creators do more or less, but it does seem like she has her own thing put into the deck as well. And it's quite interesting because I feel like, especially with the court cards, it seems to be a pattern so far that the court cards are a little bit darker. But I like that the court cards actually has, for me, I have a hard time really connecting to them. Oh wow, Queen of Wands. I have a hard time connecting to, you know, the original Rider-Waite-Smith or Smith-Waite, because they seem to be, I don't know what it is actually, but I do like that there's some more to the cards here, in my perspective. So we have the cups. Look at how it almost creates a moon. Beautiful. And this is Two of Cups. Yes. I like that we saw it with the Hanged Man as well. I like that they're sort of, you know, drawn from the perspective of someone. We have little signs here as well. So, oh. So yes, it's been, some of them has been drawn from the perspective of, you know, whoever's in the card, from the Hangman or from the third party of the Three of Cups. I kind of like that. I like that she plays with the point of view. Look at all those flowers. We have the Ten of Cups. This is kind of interesting, Ten of Cups, because compared to the original, because the original is kind of, how do I say this, a sort of fulfillment, but this is like there's still a way to go. I kind of like that. And kind of an interesting detail, you know, of two ethnicities in a mother and child situation. Yes. This is a beautiful card. Well, this is a beautiful card. They're all very beautiful. So we're on a ship now, which makes sense as it's the cups. And we have the King of Cups. Now to the Pentacles. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. So, if you're familiar with the original tarot, then, well, the original. If you're familiar with Rider-Waite-Smith deck, then you definitely recognize some of the imagery and where it comes from. But you will also appreciate the very personal take on it. This is, oh wow, look at that. This is a beautiful one. I feel like I've said that a lot. But yeah, definitely. Look, this is a very, very beautiful deck. And we've reached the end. So, my fellow spirits, this is the Tarot of the Abyss. And I can honestly say that I am so glad I purchased this, and I don't know if, of course, everybody has their personal preferences on how the decks are supposed to look like, but I have various kinds too myself. I have collage decks, I have, you know, the traditional Rider-Waite, I have very symbolic decks, I have angel tarots, like I have this one out right now, which is the Angel Wisdom Tarot. So many different decks, but this one, I have not seen anything like it, to be honest, and I am so glad that this deck is now in my collection. So, as said, now is the time that I'm gonna, you know, sort of cut the camera. I'm gonna do my own thing with the deck, get to know it a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do a free pull a card kind of reading, so you can sort of pick a card and kind of see what message the Tarot of the Abyss has for you. So I'll be back. Hi there, and Welcome back. So I have, I guess you could call it Initiated, the Terror of the Abyss deck, and I have prepared some crystals. These are just, for the video, if you can put it that way. This is for the cards that I'm going to draw in a little while. Once I've drawn them, they're going to be, with their backs up. There's going to be a crystal and there's going to be a rune. And I'm going to give you, a few seconds to sort of pause the video in case you kind of need to connect more to which card you want to go with. And remember, everything is going to be time-stamped, so if you don't want to see, if you choose number 3, if you don't want to see number 1 and number 2, you can just skip right ahead to number 3. Do it any way you like. You can also choose, and I forgot to say this before the flip through, there's absolutely no need to having my voice to it, because if you prefer to connect with the deck on your own, you can just tune down the sound, and then you can just go to whatever card you chose, pause it, and just kind of allow yourself to feel for yourself. So you can do it either way you like, whatever works for you, because that is that's what's important. It's your intuition that sort of guides the way. So the crystals today is a Carnelian, and this one has been in my possession for quite some time. It's one of the first that I got, actually. So there you have it. And then we have an Amethyst. And this is what it looks like. And finally we have an emerald. It's not a jewellery emerald, it's just, plain pocket stone emerald. And this is what it looks like. So those are 3 crystals, and maybe even now you know which one it's going to be. But let's find the cards, and then we find the runes afterwards. So can we have a card for the Carnelian, please? Yes. Oh, I see. But this one wanted out too, so I'm going to take this for the Amethyst. And then we need one for the Emerald. Can we have a card for the Emerald, please? A card for the Emerald. There it is. And let me just say, I don't really work with reverses. So any reverses, I'm just going to flip them right. Now, for some runes, we have runes in the back here. And we have the Fehu with the Carnelian. Can you see this? And we have the Wunjo. Maybe we should pull them a little bit apart. The Wunjo rune. And we have the blank rune. So these are all runes. If you don't want to know what the runes are about, but rather want to go with your intuition, then this is about the time where you're going to mute me. Fehu The rune of Feu is a rune of abundance. And Wunjo is a rune of, what can you say, satisfaction, joy, contentment. And Black Rune can be interpreted in, well, pretty much any way that you like. I like to call it the rune of possibilities, the rune of sort of openings, the rune of the unknown, kind of like a fool's rune. So we have that with the emerald. Right. I'm going to let you sort of tap into which card you feel is talking to you. And in just a few seconds, I'm going to start turning the cards. So, card number one. If you've chosen card number one, you've chosen the rune of abundance. Let me just put these out for a bit. There you go. Then you've chosen the rune of abundance. Alongside with the Carnelian, which is pretty much a sort of sun fiery stone. Carnelian is often used in terms of vitality, in terms of the personal drive. But for some, the Carnelian can also be a very harmonious, a very peaceful crystal. So let's see what the card is. Oh, we have the Death card. Now, this is my first time, apart from this initiation reading. So let's just take a closer look at the Death card. There we go. I believe and I feel that the message for you is that either you have just let go of something or something is about to be let go of. I'm going to go with the last one, that something needs to be let go of. Because I feel like the message for you here is that it's going to be all right. It's going to be absolutely all right. It can be quite frightening when we have to let go of things, when we have to sort of, go from one place to another in terms of transitioning. And it can leave us very insecure, very stressed, very worried about, what's going to happen next. But I feel like the Fehu and the Carnelian is actually going to bring in the message that it's going to be okay. I would say find peace, find, a place of quiet to sort of contemplate what's going on. Feel your strength is coming through. Make sure that that little thing nagging in your ear telling you that, oh, you shouldn't have done that, or did I do the right thing? Yes, you did the right thing. You just need to acknowledge the strengths, the strengths that you have. I'm going to say with this, it may be even something that's quite surprising, something that, very quick. Maybe it goes fast, maybe you thought, everything was nice and easy, and then just suddenly everything just changed. But you know what? It's going to be okay. It's actually going to be more than okay because you have the Rune of Feu, so using your strengths, your personal drive, your inner sun, if you use that, you can most definitely get something really great out of it. And we have a tree here with sparkles. It's dark, it's, the death is down here, but it kind of grows up into this sparkle of, magic, I'm going to say. But don't let your magic be covered up by that inner voice. Trust yourself. If you already have experienced this situation, it will be different from every one of you. But if you've already experienced this, you may be stuck in that worry right now. And in that case, the message is the same. It's going to be okay. Just make sure you allow yourself, some peace and quiet, some contemplation. That was a hard word. And we're all working in different ways. I mean, for my part, meditation and, thoughtfulness, taking a long, easy walk is what works for me. For some, it's, training weights or stuff like that. So whatever it is that works for you in order to create harmony and peace within your body at first, but then, ultimately within your soul, whatever works for you is, that's what you're going to do. Just make sure that the worries and that little nagging voice doesn't take control. Okay. So that was the message for you. I'm going to just put them here and put them to a side. So, if you've chosen card number 2, then this is your reading. We had a fire element here in the first card. With Amethyst, we have the water element represented. Amethyst is magically connected to planets like Jupiter and Neptune. Amethyst is connected to various things. It can be used for, insomnia. It can be used to fight alcoholism. But it's also a very spiritual and very peaceful crystal. It's very often used in meditation. It's very often used in terms of, heightening the psychic abilities. So, and I do remember that I chose this one because of the 8 here. So that's the Amethyst. Wunjo, as I said in the beginning, joy, comfort comes to mind. It's not really the usual word that I would connect with Wunjo, but we're just gonna, leave it here for a minute. You ready for your card? The Wise One. Yes. I'm just going to pull it up here. I do get things coming into my head, but I want you to take a closer look before I stop talking. And remember, I don't know if I said this in part 1, but I'm going to say it now. If you don't need my interpretation, then you are more than welcome to just take the voice or the sound off the video. Yes. Don't be afraid to seek guidance. We are not all experts in any single field, so I feel like the energy I'm picking up on is some sort of standstill created by not knowing. It is a standstill creating of, what is the next step? And there's the comfort. Don't be afraid to seek guidance. Somebody has, well, not the answers for you personally, but somebody has a guidance that you need in terms of taking the next step, instead of knowing which way to go. That guidance is going to bring you comfort. Or if it's not the guidance bringing comfort, it's going to be a person that you feel comfortable with. When I say guidance, that you need to look for guidance, then take in consideration of, what it is where you kind of feel the standstill. And of all the persons you know, there's going to be one particular person that's going to come to mind that, just thinking about that person is going to give you that, comfortable feeling, that feeling of security, that feeling, that sort of joy that comes with feeling absolutely at peace with someone. Feel like you're on a path of healing. I feel like there's something that you're working on right now, and that is somehow connected to why you feel like you're in a standstill, or why it's like you're not feeling like there's any progress. Go with the wise one. Find your wise one. I'm talking about this like it's a person outside of you, and I'm going to say that for a very big part of you that sees this and have chosen this card, it is someone outside. But it can also very well be connecting to your inner self. Because when all comes to all, your inner self is actually the wise one. Because other people can guide you. I mean, clairvoyance, all of that. There's plenty of people in the world that can guide you and can kind of show you the paths ahead and what they, encompass, what they have to offer. But within yourself, you have your very own spirit, and that spirit is more connected than a lot of us actually give it credit for. So for some of you who are able to make that connection internally, this wise one can be found within yourself. If you don't feel like you have that connection to your own inner self, then chances are that you're going to look for someone outside, someone who's able to guide you without judging, without what do you call that in English, without knowing better. Someone who's able to give you guidance in a way that for yourself opens up the paths so you are able to choose. I want to say it's not going to be easy to make that choice. Whatever choice it is that you're facing, it's not going to be easy. That's why you're in a standstill. That's why things have sort of come to a halt. Whatever guidance you receive, it's gonna open your eyes so you kind of know which way to go, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to take, for a lot of you, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some, who have that what can you say, that Aries kind of vibe where you just like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do, then I'm going to do it, come whatever may. Some people are blessed with that kind of spirit in those situations, but most of us aren't really. Most of us kind of want to make sure that we don't hurt anyone, we don't hurt ourselves, that the consequences are bearable. This guidance is going to show you a path, but I feel like the decision is still going to be hard. It's not like it's going to be hard because you don't know. It's going to be hard because it's not going to be comfortable at first. It's not going to be comfortable at first, but it will be. And you have that person in your life that brings you that comfort. So, and we have a community here. You don't have to do things alone. You don't have to, well, your own journey, you have to do that alone, but you have backup. You have, people rooting for you. So, create your tribe, create your family, your spiritual family, your strength family. And then whatever it is that's uncomfortable is going to bring comfort, it's going to bring joy, it's going to bring contentment. Amethyst is a crystal of healing. So you are on the right path. Just open yourself up to the guidance and have a little bravery. It's not like you're not brave, it's just, it can be, some decisions can be hard to take, and that's okay. But with that guidance, you know where to go. Maybe even just by listening to this, you know which path you need to go. Your inner self is already telling you. If that's the case, then you are one of those who's able to connect with your inner self. And if you know now, then you probably also know that it's not really easy to make that decision. You know you're going to have to take it. And you know there are consequences. But it's not going to be fun at first. And that's the important part I keep, stressing. It is going to be fine. It is, joy is definitely on its way. And so is your healing. I mean, the path of healing that you are on, whatever it is you're healing, it is going to be absolutely fine. You're going to get there. Don't worry. Okay. Those were the words for the card too. I'm going to put this one aside too and prepare. So just put them up here. Then I'm going to prepare for pile 3. So we have card 3. We're not really talking piles right now. Okay. Just going to do like I did with the others. And the funny thing about the black rune is that the black rune is not actually a part of the runic alphabet. It's not part of the Elder Fulog. It's not part of any of. It's not in the alphabet of the runes. I'm just going to put it a little bit up. It's something that's created when we created the runes as a divinatory tool. But yeah. And we have the emerald. The emerald, if you've seen the others, we've had fire element, we have water element, and now we have the earth element with the emerald. The emerald is also very much connected to Venus. This is actually a very good stone for, Virgos and Taurus, for instance. The emerald is, if you Google, if you don't know about, if you haven't heard about the emerald tablet, I would recommend Googling it. The emerald is very much connected to psychic abilities. There's some sort of mental strength to it. There's some sort of, it's a very sort of spiritual, psychic stone. It has also been used for things like exorcism and stuff like that, simply because it is so connected to the light that it just banishes evil. Let's take a look at your card. We have the card of Temperance. Yes, let's just put it up for you. There we go. So this is your card, the Temperance card. And remember, you are more than welcome to do your own interpretation. You're more than able to connect with your own intuition, and you just need to sort of put the voice or the sound down. I keep saying voice, which is kind of funny because air is the only element that we don't have. We have the card of Temperance. I want to say be careful you don't overdo it. Sometimes things can go as well that we can get a little bit, what's that called? I don't know what it's called, but we can start, kind of trusting ourselves too much. or forgetting that, leaving behind our humility towards things. Temperance is a kind of balance. And I do feel like there's a two cups kind of vibe going on here. Sort of like feeling the passions but not letting them be carried away. I want to say take control of the reins. All your opportunities, all your options are open, but you have to take control of the reins. You have to, and it can be overthinking. It can be working too much. It will be different to any one of you, but hold the reins. Make sure that there's a balance in your life. If you're working too hard, then make time for pleasure, make time for family, make time for friends. If you're overthinking, then practice meditations, go for a walk. If there's a specific subject that's on your mind constantly that you're overthinking about, find someone to talk to. Create that balance. And if you're in a situation where you're receiving a lot, or where things seem to be easy, coming easy to you, remember gratitude. Remember that the success that you have as easily could have been someone else's, but it was granted to you. I feel like the emerald is here as a reminder that there are plenty of great things in this life, and there are plenty of great things in your life. Just make sure that you are in control. Make sure that it's the good that prevails. The emerald is a banisher, and it can be, exorcism. It's quite a serious thing. It can be a banisher of negative thoughts. It can be a banisher of overindulgence, maybe. Without balance, we burn out. Without balance, the scales are going to tip. I don't know. There's a lot of things that are positive here, but I do feel, an urge within myself to voice that sort of caution, to voice that that reminder of taking your own reins, that reminder of acknowledging what you have and be grateful for what you have. Even if you feel like you don't have a lot, then be grateful for what you do have. Because the universe tends to give us the things we're sending out. And also tends to correct us if we think that we are too self-assured, if we can put it that way. I'm not talking self-assured in a spirit, soul kind of manner. I'm talking self-assured with the ego. So I have this urge to voice a caution, to voice, some sort of be careful kind of thing. That being said, we are facing a very beautiful card, a very beautiful stone, and a rune of possibilities. So caution aside, I feel like this combination is telling you that gain balance, gain control, be grateful, have gratitude. And can you do that, then you have that fundamental layer of, developing your own path, your spiritual path. I feel like once you do that, what's going to happen is the emerald is this very spiritual psychic stone. I'm getting eyes, seeing things. And you can't see it right now because something is not balanced. Something is not quite. It can be within yourself. It can be how you act in your life. It can be overthinking. Something is creating some sort of blindness. Create the balance and the blindness will end. Create the balance and you will see. But you do have, whatever circumstances you're in, you do have all your options open. But there's something here to be worked on. I can't tell you what it is because it's a general reading and a very short one also. But I'm getting take the reins again. I don't know if, I hope it resonates with you. Take the reins. It keeps coming back to me. Take the reins and you will see. And maybe for some of you, dive into the Two of Cups. Try Google the Two of Cups of tarot and see what comes up, because I feel like for not all, but for some of you, there will be an extra message there. Two of Cups are connected to some sort of balance or what, some kind of, as I said before, passion, but make sure that it doesn't overtake you. Two of Cups is also balance. It's also love. It's connection. And now that I say love, remember that emerald is very much a Venus stone, Venus crystal, connected to the earth. So for some of you, this, whatever reigns we're talking about, will be connected to love in some, it can be a relationship, it can be your ability to self-love. But love can very easily be an underlying theme here. But your options are open, your possibilities are open. Just, grab the reins. Right. So, card 3, that was your reading. I'm going to put them all back up here. There we go. And that was the Tower of the Abyss. Where is it? It's here. Can we just get the box in here as well? That was the Tower of the Abyss right here. My very first reading to others with this deck, and I hope it resonated with you. It's always kind of fun to, well, not fun, but interesting. Well, it's fun too, but the right word is interesting, to make a reading with a card deck that I haven't myself been quite familiar with yet myself. So I hope it resonates. I hope you can take messages from it. At the very least, I hope that you get a very strong feeling about what Terror of the Abyss deck is about. And I haven't yet because I'm still recording, but I will make links to Ana Tourian as well in the description below. So so you'll be able to find her and kind of tap into her world and how she thinks and how she creates her decks. And there are plenty of other beautiful decks from her hand as well that I kind of need to investigate also. But yeah, that was the reveal of Tower of the Abyss and a quick reading of with the cards. So I hope you found this useful, and if you have any experiences with the readings, anything you want to share, then the comment section is always open. And I'm just going to wish you a very blessed day, and thank you for watching. Remember, subscribing, liking, all of that stuff is always helpful to new accounts as well as old accounts. So I will be very grateful if you would choose to do that. Thank you very much. Bless you.